As of May 2024, revenues from oil sales to the Russian budget increased by almost 50% compared to 2023. According to Bloomberg, Moscow is adapting to international sanctions. According to the agency's calculations, total revenues from the oil and gas industry increased by 39%, which is almost $8 billion. However, according to the Russian authorities, adaptation to international sanctions is based on their direct violation. Thus, the UK government suspects 37 companies of participation in circumventing Russian oil sanctions, the BBC Russian service reports. The head of the anti-corruption organization Global Witness noted that the British Treasury has still not taken actions against sanctions violators and called for more decisive action.
If the UK government puts an end to British firms' involvement in Putin's speculation, I think others will follow suit. Louis Wilson, head of oil investigations at the anti-corruption NGO Global Witness, in an interview to BBC News Russian service.
In addition to companies helping Russia evade sanctions, Moscow also uses sanctioned tankers. According to Bloomberg, more than 24 such vessels have resumed transporting Russian oil since April 2024.
At least 21 of the 72 tankers sanctioned by the US Treasury Department's Office of Foreign Assets Control, the UK Treasury or the European Union in the past year have loaded a total of 24 cargoes of Russian oil since they were designated in response to Moscow's 2022 invasion of Ukraine, from the Bloomberg publication.
The agency writes that from April to June only one voyage per month was recorded, but after successful deliveries the use of sanctioned tankers increased. In July 2 cargoes were transported and in August and September 6 each. The Kremlin is actively using the Danish straits for its routes. According to Bloomberg, ships of the Shadow Fleet of Russia are increasingly refusing the services of pilots, which significantly increases the risk of an oil spill off the coast of the country. The head of the Danish Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Lars Løkke Rasmussen, said that the state is trying to stop the transportation of sanctioned Russian oil by the Shadow Fleet through the Baltic Sea.
Only by reducing checks by using the Black Fleet there are still incomes. But the decision on the Black Fleet has already matured. I think that the strait in Denmark will be closed and the Russian Federation will lose one of its key oil channels, and this will lead to the fact that in 2025 Russia will exhaust its ability to finance the war.
For Moscow, the decline in oil prices has become a real problem, analysts say. Pessimistic news from China only worsens the situation. At a briefing on economic development, officials did not outline the large-scale incentives that the oil market was waiting for, Reuters reports. As a result, the cost of Brent crude in London fell by 1.5%. In addition, Saudi Arabia's energy minister Prince Abdulaziz bin Salman warned oil production partners that the price could fall to $50 per barrel if some violators do not limit production.
For Russia, this will be a truly catastrophic situation, even if the optimistic scenarios of a collapse to the level of $50 or $60 do not materialize. We are talking about Brent, respectively. For euros, it will be about $55. The situation will be catastrophic.
Let me remind you that in response to Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine, the EU countries imposed an embargo on seaborne shipments of Russian oil to the Union countries and also set a price ceiling of $60 per barrel for oil from the Russian Federation. The main goal of these measures was to reduce Moscow's income, which allows the authorities to continue the war. The Kremlin was forced to redirect its supplies to Asia, as a result of which China and India asked for huge discounts and the Kremlin sold fuel at paltry prices. Reported by Sergei Kulas, Nikita Skoblikov, UATV News.